G'day folks, it's Cortezerino, and today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely koi garden. So this garden is a chunk build. It's a 16 by 16 area that you can just plonk down anywhere in your world if you want to add some lovely decoration. And this is quite lovely. We've got a nice tranquil pool here with a few fishies, some nice big rocks, a little zen garden, and we've got some seating under a lovely flowery gazebo. And it might look a bit odd just sitting here in this blank world, but what you can do is take this 16 by 16 chunk build and just place it down anywhere in your world and surround it with a few leaves and a little bit of grass just to blend it into the area. So this might make a lovely backyard for your house or as a feature for a great big park or garden. And this is how the build looks without shaders. And if you go down to the video description, you will find a link to a full materials list. So that's enough talking. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to begin by marking out the edge of our chunk build, and I've just used polished diorite, but you can use any block you like, and this will just make it easier for us to build. And once we're done, you can go ahead and pick all of these blocks up. So around our chunk, we're going to build a square that is 18 blocks by 18. And for the purposes of the tutorial, I'm going to call this side the front of the build. So that's where our path comes in. So if I ever say come to the front, this is the side I'm talking about. Okay, looking from the front of the build, we're going to dig out our pond. So I've just placed a bunch of lapis blocks in the ground. Everywhere where I have a lapis block, all I want you to do is dig up the block. So here's the overhead view. Just go ahead and dig up those blocks, and the front of the build is just down here. Okay, now we're going to make our pond just a little bit deeper. So once again, everywhere where I've placed a lapis block, just dig up the block. So you can go ahead and pause the video and dig up all of those. And once again, we're going a little bit deeper, but this time, everywhere where there's a lapis block, I want you to place a block of podzol in the ground. So once again, pause the video and place in your podzol. Okay, around the edges of our podzol, we have all of this dirt. What we're going to do now is start covering up all of the dirt with different varieties of stone. So you can grab all of your stone, then looking from the front, come over to the back wall where you can see the edges of our border. Over here, we're going to place a cobblestone with another one on the diagonal. Then we'll do a third one right there and a tough block. Now I want you to turn to the left, and on top of this dirt, we'll do a cobblestone stair, then a tough block. Next to that, we'll do an andesite, then a stone slab, then an andesite stair, then a stone block, and 2 cobblestone. And we're going to continue placing stone just on these dirt blocks. So after you place the cobblestone, turn to your left, and on this dirt block, we'll do a cobblestone with an andesite in front. Then over here, we'll do 1, 2 coarse dirt with a cobblestone slab in front. Next to that, we'll do a mossy cobblestone with another cobblestone slab, and then over here we'll do a cobblestone with an andesite in front, and beside that an andesite stair. And next to this stair we'll do an andesite slab. Just behind that we'll do a block of andesite with another one beside it, and then 1, 2, 3 stone blocks. In front of that middle stone block we'll do another andesite slab, and then I want you to look to the left, and on top of that dirt block we'll do a cobblestone stair. And keep looking in this direction. Come over here and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 cobblestone blocks with an andesite block in the middle and another one right there, and that will have a cobblestone slab in front. Then turn to your left. Behind the slab we'll do a mossy cobble, then a cobble stair, then a cobble slab. And behind the slab we'll do a stone block, and then we'll place 1, 2 andesite blocks. Then over here we'll place a stone block in the corner. That will have a cobblestone slab in front and a stone stair beside it. Okay, that's the bottom level all done. Now we're going to come up 1 block and cover up all of this dirt. So looking from the front, come along to the back wall where you can see our border. Grab flowering azalea leaves, place one there. Next to that we'll do a jungle leaf. Then skip a block, place another, and another right there with an andesite block beside it. Now in between these two jungle leaves we're going to place a cobblestone slab. Diagonally to the left we'll do an andesite slab, and diagonally to the right we'll do another andesite slab. Now look in this direction. Behind that slab we'll do a stone stair with a stone block behind it. Okay, now you can turn to your left, and just in front of this final stone block we placed we're going to do a cobblestone slab. To the right of that we'll do a cobblestone block, then an andesite stair, then a stone block, and then a jungle leaf. In front of the leaf we'll do a cobblestone, and just next to that we'll do a stone slab. And now you can turn to your right, and on top of these two dirt blocks here we're going to do two andesite blocks. In front of those we'll do a cobblestone stair, and that will have a cobblestone slab beside it. Now on top of this cobblestone block we'll do an azalea leaf, beside that we'll do a jungle leaf, then another one, and on top of this dirt block we'll do a moss block, and just in the middle here we'll do an andesite slab. And then you can turn to the right again, so we're looking toward the front of the build. On top of this dirt block we'll do a mossy cobblestone with an andesite beside it. Then next to our moss block we'll do another andesite block, then a cobblestone stair, then an andesite slab, then an andesite stair, then a jungle leaf, then a moss block, and then just in front of the jungle leaf we'll do a cobblestone slab. And you can look over to our two coarse dirt. On this one we're going to do a flowering azalea. Diagonally from that we'll do a jungle leaf, and diagonally from that another flowering azalea. Then looking from this direction, next to that azalea we'll do another jungle leaf, and then we'll do one on the podzol just below. Now come over to this dirt block, we'll do a moss block with a stone block beside it, then a jungle leaf, then a cobblestone stair, and a mossy cobble. Okay, now I want you to come to the back of our build, so we're looking toward the front, and starting in this corner here we're going to skip the first grass block, then place an andesite stair, then skip a block, we'll do a moss block, and then a cobblestone slab beside it, then skip a block, and I want you to dig up that block, place in a mossy cobblestone with another one beside it, and then just over here we'll do an andesite block with a cobblestone on top. Okay, now we'll swing around to the left, and in front of that andesite we'll do an andesite stair. Beside that we'll do a cobblestone slab, and behind that we'll do an andesite slab. Now turn to your right, and just in front of this stair we'll do a dirt block with a cobblestone on the left and a cobblestone on the right. In front of this one we'll do an andesite stair with a stone block beside it, and in front of the stone we'll do a cobblestone slab. Then you can dig up that block and place in a gravel. And in front of the gravel we're going to dig up those two blocks and place in coarse dirt. And behind the gravel we'll dig up that one, do another coarse dirt with some short grass. Now come over to this cobblestone block. On top of that we'll do an andesite block with a cobblestone slab on top. Then on top of the dirt we'll do a cobblestone with a cobblestone stair in front. On top of the cobblestone block we'll do a stone block with an andesite slab on top. Now grab azalea leaves, we'll place one right there and one in front of the moss block. Then we'll also dig up that block, place in a coarse dirt with some grass. Okay, now we'll swing around to the back of the build, and starting in this corner we're going to place a fern, and you can bone meal it to make it a large fern. Then we're going to skip past that stair and place a jungle leaf. Then on top of this grass block we'll do another jungle leaf and a third one beside it. Then skip past the mossy cobble, we'll do a moss carpet there with a grass. Then behind this mossy cobble we'll do a flowering azalea leaf. Okay, now I want you to come to the front of the build, and we're going to begin in the front left hand corner. So on top of that grass we'll do an andesite slab, dig up the block behind it and place in an andesite block. Then dig up that block and place in a mossy cobblestone. Then you can skip a block and dig up that one, do a coarse dirt with some grass. Beside that we're going to dig up that block, place in a block of sand. just behind that we'll do a cobblestone block, and behind that dig up those two and place in 2 sand. On the end of that we'll dig up that block, do a coarse dirt with a short grass, then we'll dig up that one, do a mossy cobblestone. On the other side we're going to place a stone slab, and just behind that slab we'll dig up the block and place in a mossy cobblestone. And then you can come back to this first block of sand we placed. Just beside that we're going to dig up 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then that one on the diagonal. In the first two we're going to place 2 sand, and then we'll do 2 coarse dirt. Behind this coarse dirt we'll do a cobblestone slab, and behind that a block of cobblestone. Then we'll dig up that block, do a mossy cobblestone with an andesite slab behind it, and then a jungle leaf. And looking from the front, just behind this middle sand, we'll dig up these 3 blocks and place in sand blocks, and that one will have a stone button on it. Just to the right of that we'll dig up these 3 grass and also place in sand. Now just to the left of this bit of grass we're going to dig up that one and place a sand block, and to the left of this stone slab we'll do the same thing. And then in front of the stone slab we'll dig up these 3 and place in 3 sand. Now spin around to the right, we're going to dig up that block and place an upside down sandstone stair so we get a different texture. Beside that we'll dig up that one, do a jack-o'-lantern with moss carpet on top, and behind that we'll do a coarse dirt with a stone button. And just behind the button we'll do a jungle leaf that will have a mossy cobble beside it. Then 2 more jungle leaves. In front of the cobble we'll do another jungle leaf, and to the left of our button we'll dig up that block and do another jungle leaf. And then you can come back to this jungle leaf right on the end. Just beside that we'll dig up that block, do a coarse dirt with a sweet berry on top. In front of that we're going to dig up the block, do another coarse dirt, and in front of that we'll do a grass. Now on top of that coarse dirt right there we'll do an acacia fence, another one beside it, and another one right there with a lantern in the middle. Now looking from the front we're going to come along to the back right hand corner, and just next to that gravel we'll do another fence with one beside it and another right there with a lantern in the middle. And you can turn around to the right hand side, and just behind the 2 coarse dirt we'll do 1, 2 azalea leaves with a third one right there. Beside that we'll do an acacia fence with a lantern, and then another 3 azalea leaves. We'll dig up that block, do a coarse dirt, then 2 acacia fences, then an azalea leaf, then we'll dig up that block and that one and place in mossy cobblestone. They will have short grass in between, and then on this one in the corner we'll do an acacia fence and a lantern. Okay, looking from the front we're going to swing around to the right, and just in front of this coarse dirt we're going to skip a block and then place a campfire with 2 more to the left of it, and you can put those out. On each end we're going to place an oak trapdoor and flick them up. Then we're going to look from this direction, place 3 oak trapdoors and flick all of those up. Now we can swing back around to this side. Just diagonally from our park bench here we're going to dig up that block, place in a mud with a mud brick wall on top, and we'll do the same in this corner, so a mud there with a mud brick wall. On top of this one we'll do flowering azalea leaves and a spruce fence on top. But on top of the other one we're just going to do 2 spruce fences. Then you can grab spruce fence gates, and we're just going to run 3 across the top like that. Now back to your flowering azalea leaves. Against that fence on the left we'll place one right there. Then swing around to the opposite side, and in the same spot we're going to place another leaf block, but this one is not flowering, that's just the regular azalea leaves. Then we'll skip 1 fence gate and hold shift and place 2 flowering azalea leaves. Then swing back around to the front, and against that top fence we'll do another flowering azalea leaf. And then looking from the front of our park bench, I want you to come up to this spruce fence here. On top we'll place a flowering azalea leaf. Then on top of the fence gate we'll do a spruce slab, and beside that we'll do 2 more flowering azalea leaves. On the end we'll do a regular azalea leaf, and then in front of the slab another regular azalea leaf, and just to the right of that, a flowering azalea. And still looking in this direction, I want you to come down to this mud block. Just to the right of that, we're going to dig up that one, place in a coarse dirt, and then we'll also dig up 1, 2, 3, and they will all have coarse dirt. On top of the first dirt we placed, we'll do a scaffolding with brown carpet on top, and then come over to your chair just in front of the middle campfire. We'll place a coarse dirt in the ground, then skip a block, place another, and diagonally from that we'll do another. Okay, grab a shovel and we'll start putting in some path blocks. So just in front of our seat, each side of the coarse dirt, do a path block, and then in front of that mossy cobble we'll do another one. Now come back to your seat, just to the right of this moss block, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 path blocks. Just in front of that, on the grass here, we'll make another 4, and then we'll just do 1 right there. And looking from the front, we're going to come along to the front left-hand corner, and just in front of that moss carpet, we're going to place 1, 2, 3 dark oak fences. Then against the middle fence, we'll do another dark oak fence with 1 to the right and 1 on top. Then swing around to the left against this fence, we're going to do an oak leaf, and then against the top fence there, we'll do another dark oak fence. Now swing around to the back against the middle fence, we'll do an oak leaf, and that will have 2 dark oak fences on top. Then swing around to the left again, and against the bottom half of that fence, we're going to place a dark oak slab, then come underneath, plant some glowberries, shear them so they don't grow any longer, and then bone meal them. And then just to the left of that, we'll do another oak leaf. And I've turned off my bushy leaves for a moment, just so it's a bit easier to see what we're doing. So looking from the front, I want you to swing around to the left-hand side. Against that fence, we'll do an oak leaf and another one against that fence. Then come back to the front, and each side of this fence right here, we're going to do a leaf block. Then you can come around to the back, and just against the slab, we're going to do 2 more leaf blocks. Now come back to the front, starting on top of this fence here, we'll do a leaf block with 1, 2, 3 beside it. Then on top of this fence, we'll do another leaf block and another one up there. Now swing around to the back of the build, just above our slab, we'll do a leaf block. Then in front of this fence, another one and another one on top. And I'll turn the bushy leaves back on. So now looking from the front, I want you to come over to this stone button here. Just behind that, on top of the moss block, we'll do a pitcher plant. And then I want you to swing around to the left of the build. And next to this sweet berry, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 scaffolding. And next to that, we'll do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Next to that, we'll do 1, 2, 3 flowering azalea leaves and another pitcher plant. And then grab your scaffolding again, and we're going to place 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in this corner, we'll do a flowering azalea leaf there, then a jungle leaf, then some short grass, and bone meal it to make it long grass. Although with my texture pack, it still looks pretty short. Okay, now what we're going to do is climb up our scaffolding, and just on top, I want you to place some string. So we'll do a second one there, and then a third one right there. And then you can break your scaffolding, and where it was, you can plant some bamboo, and the string will stop it from growing too tall. So over here, break both of those and plant 2 more bamboo. And that's how it'll look once they are all grown up. And keep the bamboo and string in your inventory because we're going to be planting a few more in a moment. So now looking from the front of the build, I want you to come along to the back left-hand corner, and just on top of that mossy cobble, we'll do a cauldron with an anvil on top, and then you can hold shift and place a soul lantern on it. Now, I'm not sure if you can do that in Bedrock Edition, so what you can do for Bedrock that also looks good is do your cauldron, anvil with a shroom light on top, and you can surround the shroom light with waxed weathered copper slabs and put a polished deep slate on top, and that also looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to swing around to the back of the build, looking toward the front. we're going to come along to this fence post right here. Just in front of that, we'll dig up that block, put a coarse dirt with a jungle leaf on top, then a stone button, then a lilac, and then some grass on top of the moss block. Now come back over to our lantern. You can see there's this bit of grass in front. Each side of that, we're just going to place another lilac. Now I want you to look over to this side of the build. Just in front of this lantern on the post, we'll do another lilac, and then we'll do another one on that coarse dirt. And staying in this spot where our lilacs are, just to the left of that lilac, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 scaffolding with a string on top. Then turn to your left, and behind this bit of grass, we're going to place 7 scaffolding. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can do string on top. Then to the right of the grass, we're just going to do 3 scaffolding this time with your string, and then you can go ahead, break those, and plant your bamboo. Okay, looking from the front of the build, grab a flower pot, and just behind this sand, we're going to place it right there with a cornflower inside. Then just behind this cobblestone block, we're going to place another flower pot, and that will have a birch sapling. And then I want you to come over here, and just in front of the moss block, we're going to do another flower pot, and this will have bamboo inside. Now look down to this stone slab. We're going to place a green stained glass pane there with a sea pickle on top. I'm not sure if you can do that in Bedrock Edition, but you could put a brown or green candle on top instead. Now just in front of this, we're going to skip a block, and then we're going to build the same thing. So another glass with your sea pickle, then look from this direction, and just on this block here, we're going to place 2 glass panes this time with a sea pickle on top. Then turn to the right, and you can see this stone button up here. Just follow this line down. When you get to the first podzol, put another green glass with your sea pickle on top, and then down here we'll just put 2 sea pickles on the ground. And just up from these pickles on top of the andesite block, we're going to place 3 lime candles. Then you can turn to the left, and in front of this grass we're going to do 2 turtle eggs. Then look back toward the front, and in front of this pitcher plant we're going to do another 2 turtle eggs right there. And just in front of these on top of the podzol, do a temporary block, then a warped trapdoor, and you can break the temporary block, then hold shift and place a soul lantern on top. Okay, now we're going to look back up to our pitcher plant here, and I just want you to look in this direction, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3 pink petals just beside the pitcher plant. Then we're going to look in the opposite direction, and on top of this grass block we're going to place another 3 pink petals. Now come along to the back corner where our lantern is. Just on that moss block we're going to place some vines, and you can let them spread to the leaf blocks beside it. And now we're just going to fill in our pond. So all you have to do is do a single layer of water, and just make sure you waterlog all of the stairs and slabs and the sea pickles around the edges. And that's how you should look when you're done. So now looking from the front of the build, I want you to turn to the left, and just in front of that coarse dirt, we're going to do a lily pad. And then on the podzol in front, we'll do some seagrass. We'll do another seagrass just in front of this pot plant here. So 1 right there. Then come over to where our lantern is in the corner, and you can see this cobblestone stair. Each side of that, we're going to do a lily pad. And then we're going to place 1, 2 seagrass like that. Then turn to your right, and you can see this cobblestone slab here. Each side of that will do a seagrass. Turn to your right again over where our sea pickles are. Place a seagrass next to that. Turn to your right again, and we'll do another one right there. And then you can just grab some tropical fish and populate your pond. And that is it. That is our build 100% complete. So thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy your lovely peaceful garden. And a little pro tip, if you want a bit more colour in here, feel free to change the leaves of this tree to cherry blossom leaves. So until next time, see you later.